Good afternoon, guys. Again, congratulations to our football team. Pretty impressive defensive performance. And we're just all so proud of them. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend the game. I was taking care of our team. And but we wish them all the luck in the world. They've done a tremendous job this year, well coached, great talent, solid staff, great fan support, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. So, but we wish them all the luck in the world and a big roll tide to them as they embark on this national championship game. With our team, we've had a couple of pretty good days of practice, working on just trying to be consistent in terms of our habits, offensive details, setting screens, running consistently, making on-time, on-target passes, spacing on the floor, just reading defenses on defense, just trying to continue to have a high rating on defense in all of the different areas that we grade. We had a pretty decent grade our last two games, but we know, we can't be satisfied. There's still some correctable areas on both offense and defense that we can improve in, but they're all correctable. There are things that we can take care of. But we're excited. First SEC game, obviously we started the game late compared to most of the teams in our league, but we're excited to go to Mississippi State. Very young team, but explosive team. They play a lot of players. Coach Holland has done a great job. He's got a lot of experience dating back to his days at UCLA. So we know they're going to be well coached and ready to go, and we're going to have to play a solid 40-minute game or 40-plus minute game like we had down there last year.
Just wondering if you had an update on Corbin and his status with his groin injury.
You said Corbin?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Charlie, Corbin, he's progressing. He took part in a very small part of practice on yesterday. He didn't practice the entire practice, but he was on a pitch count. He was a part of practice, but not the entire practice, and we think he recovered well enough to potentially, have a small role in practice today, and then we'll see where he is. But he's still day-to-day, and we'll see if he recovers well enough and if he's healthy enough to contribute in our game tomorrow night. And if not tomorrow night, we think if he progresses well, he'll definitely be ready for Saturday.
You've talked all year, or maybe the last 2 years, about how you break up the season into either 5 or 7 game periods. You're obviously 12 games in now. What do you take away from this point heading into conference play?
We have potential to be an extremely good defensive team. We're an emerging offensive team. I like the type of pace that we've played with in our last 2 games, and trying to be more of a transition team, get some easy baskets. I love our size, our size inside and out, and our guys that are our so-called smaller guys like Corbin and AJ, I think they play a little bit bigger. They've taken more charges than we've had at that position in the past, which is very gratifying. They're doing a good job of trying to get some 50-50 and long rebounds. So I think offensively we have a chance to be a team that can create some mismatch problems for our opponents if we take care of the ball. So as an emerging offensive team that has more potential to get better offensively, and as a team that I think can really be a solid defensive team, we have a chance to be pretty good if we can bring it all together and also do the job on the boards. We've been improving in terms of our rebounding over the last 2 weeks.
Talked quite often often about Dejan kind of stepping up in this last game, obviously the double-double. You know, what do you see from him in watching film and evaluating and his ability to kind of take over the game a little bit at a certain point?
Yeah, he just, he's given us flashes early in the season. I think he's tried to be more consistent here recently, looking for a shot, getting downhill. We play him all over the floor. We post him up. We use him in the mid-range game. We actually like him shooting threes because he takes quality threes. He doesn't take bad threes. He passes the ball. He defends. So I just think for him, the main thing is just continue to be more vocal, keep his confidence at a high level, and stay on the attack. If he can just stay aggressive, if he doesn't play on his heels, he's a really terrific player.
How much of a morale boost was it to get Nick King back for the players?
It's good. The players really like Nick, and, him not being around, he's a big part of our team. But, when you have a serious lung infection, obviously we know if that goes south, that could be very deadly. So we're taking, all of the precautions to make sure that he can get back to 100% health, not just to help us on the court, but for a way of life. So, in talking to Dr. Bettner, right now there's no official time frame. We'll evaluate him, just like I've said on our SEC teleconference call this morning, that we're going to evaluate him in the next 2 or 3 weeks to see when we can at least get him back to practice. But we'll move slow with him and make sure that he's completely out of danger.
And it also, on a totally different note, it seems like you guys have, experimented a lot this season. How close are you to finding out your identity? Heading into SEC play, how comfortable are you?
I think we know a little bit more about our identity. We have more of a rotation now than we ever had at any point in this season. We got about 8 guys that's in the rotation. Maybe we'll go to a 9th guy, but that's it. And the guys that's in the rotation, they're going to play.
You talked about the pace of the offense and kind of pushing it. Obviously the level of competition you played the last 2 games wasn't close to what, you were playing earlier in some of the losses. So knowing the kind of competition you're going to face in the SEC, is there a way to kind of create that or force that pace? And is there something y'all are doing to do that, or is it just something that kind of has to develop in the game?
Well, one of the things we're doing, and that's a great question, one of the things we're doing is our players have taken more ownership, all right? And we're getting more leadership from Dejan and Braxton and AJ and Riley. We'll get more when Corbin comes back. They're not looking at me. It's just in some of those games, whether it's at Oregon, at Texas, it's 30 times a game. They're looking at me and ruining our fast break opportunities. So I just think they're taking more responsibility. I'm trying to, I've kind of taken the handcuffs off them or any so-called restrictions that they perceived that they had, and we've kind of thrown those excuses out of the window. Just play basketball. And if there's something that I like, I'll obviously communicate it with them. But sometimes your best offense is going against a defense that's not set. And if we can get out and run a little bit more, and now they understand kind of the different progressions of early offense, secondary offense, where we don't have to stop and just call a play every single time. And we think that seemed to help us and also build more confidence in them that they can just play basketball and feel a lot freer on the court. Well, it started in my quarterbacks meeting. I'm the quarterbacks coach. So, all right. So when I met with my quarterbacks, and I know what your next question will be, who are the quarterbacks? Corbin, AJ, and Dejan. Lawson hadn't made it there yet, all right? I'm just like, but, we have those conversations, and in terms of trying to find an offensive identity, I'm just giving them more freedom to express themselves out on the floor. And then if we get stuck, they have a list of play calls or situations or how we want to attack based on our opponent.
You mentioned Avery Jr. What have you seen from him stepping up in Corbin's absence?
Yeah, I think he's tried to attack the offense in terms of getting downhill. You know, he's had some pretty acrobatic layup attempts, some makes. The one thing we've noticed is even some of the ones that he's missed has helped us get on the glass, and it's better than a turnover. So I think his the way he's been calm on the floor but yet confident has helped us stay a little bit more organized when things have broken down.
You've had success with this last lineup the last 2 days. Is it something you think you're going to stick with heading in tomorrow?
I think it remains to be seen. I'm open to it, yeah, without giving out any scouting reports, but I'm open to it. We just want to do whatever's best with the team. And if it's starting Bola and Corbin, if it's bringing those guys off the bench, if now Jimmy's coming off the bench and he's been playing well off the bench, whether he likes his role or not, he's been very competitive coming off the bench. And, yesterday in practice, he was a madman. So, I like what Jimmy's giving us off the bench. I just think right now everything's kind of been on the table, but as I said earlier, not to contradict myself, we kind of like where we are in terms of a unit and the 3 guys or so, or 3.5 guys that are going to be coming off the bench. That's part of the rotation. Okay, thanks.